Okay, so the reason why I feel so inspired to make a video like this is because ever since we saw the news of Deadpool setting to appear in Avengers Doomsday and also Avengers Secret Wars, this video has to be discussed and it must be on YouTube. I have to talk about the teams that we are going to be seeing in Avengers Doomsday. Yes, you guys heard that right. There is going to be different teams in Doomsday because a lot of this has to do with the comic book storyline Time Runs Out. This is going to be the storyline that Marvel is going to be adapting for Doomsday. Of course, there is going to be different stories getting into the mix, like maybe Secret Wars of 1984, Secret Wars of 2015, maybe a little bit of Emperor Doom, and also a little bit of Avengers versus X-Men. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So let's remember, Deadpool is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, but not to be in any X-Men or Avengers team. He is going to be having his own team outside of the X-Men and outside of the Avengers. Once again, it's part of the reason why I feel so inspired to make this video, because now we can theorize, now we can speculate who is going to be in whose team. So let's set the premise for Avengers Doomsday so we can understand why there needs to be different teams in the first place. In the Time Runs Out storyline, incursions do begin across the multiverse and we get to see alternate Earths start colliding against one another. And here's the thing, if a incursion is not stopped, both universes are destroyed, and what those heroes from those different Earths need to do is destroy the opponent's Earth. Like whatever universe they're going up against, that Earth does need to die in order for both universes to live. So let's just say, for example, you're Deadpool and I am Captain America, and we're both from different universes and we're both from different Earths. I would have to destroy your Earth and eliminate that, like annihilate Earth from your universe in order for my universe and Earth to live. Your universe is still going to live, but your Earth is going to be vanished because of me, because I win. That is basically what this story is about. Also keep in mind that there is this Illuminati dilemma within this storyline where you have the smartest team in Marvel Comics come together. So Reed Richards is in the team, Tony Stark, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Namor, Beast, Black Bolt, and other members in the Illuminati. And because they are facing such a huge, colossal fight against other worlds, what they are secretly building is a planet-destroying weapon in order for their universe and Earth to live. However, while they're building that weapon, they do face this moral collapse. Like they're like, oh my god, like I feel guilty. I feel guilty that we're building this because I don't want to destroy another Earth. There's people that live there. There's people who are young. There's women, different heroes. We can't do this. Can you imagine like the horror that we're going to instill on those people? It just doesn't make any sense. So the Illuminati group were really questioning their actions, especially Captain America. Captain America was like horrified with these actions and he's like, you know what? We can't do this. It doesn't make any sense. And there were other members in that group that were saying, come on, Captain America. Like, are you serious? Like, bro, we need to do this. We don't want our Earth to get annihilated by somebody else. It makes no sense. And that eventually led towards the Illuminati breaking up with Namor leading another group called Cabal, which did include Thanos. I don't know if they're going to go in this exact route, but it is going to be very similar. And that group, Cabal, that is led by Namor and others, they have no remorse. They don't care. They're willing to destroy any other Earth only to defend theirs. And then, of course, we all know how the story does end here. We have Dr. Doom coming into the picture. He's like, oh my god, I understand what's going on here. He has seen that the Beyonders placed a Molecule Man in every universe as a bomb, which does set up a multiversal chain reaction. So Doom does attempt to kill Molecule Men across realities to absorb their power as well, with the intent of stopping the Beyonders. And then ultimately, Dr. Doom does confront the Beyonders, and Doom does absorb all of the powers, etc., creating Battleworld. He becomes God Emperor Doom, which leads to Secret Wars. Okay, so now we have a better understanding on what this story is about, right? Now you can see the true ramifications and the tensions that are going to be built in Doomsday. This is the reason why there are different teams. So moving on towards team number 1, and that is going to be Sam Wilson's Avengers. We are going to see for the first time the True Avengers being formed since 2019, and Sam Wilson will be the leader and defending Earth 616. I do think that those key members will be Captain America, Shang-Chi, Ant-Man, possibly Spider-Man. We'll see how Brand New Day does unfold, Captain Marvel, and Hulk. This is going to be the primary Avengers squad. It's going to be the Avengers squad that says we need to find a alternative, a different answer, because we cannot become this team that just says, okay, we're going to try and annihilate the other Earths. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to be. They're going to be the most moral in this story. Now let's move on towards the other version of the Avengers, which will still be in Earth 616, and that is the New Avengers, aka Thunderbolts, a film that we have recently just seen. And I believe that in that team, it will be led by the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, which is the best friend of Sam Wilson. So in this team, we'll have Yelena Belova, the Red Guardian, US Agent, Ghost, and maybe some other members. Maybe, and hopefully, and I pray that this does happen, but maybe the Punisher could be in this team because it really does fit his style and how he does approach solving crime. And I believe that the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts, are going to be very much aligned with Sam Wilson's The Avengers. However, I do see them much more with the approach of Cabal, right? The team that is like, oh yeah, let's just save our Earth, like screw the other Earth. We only have to protect our own. So we'll see how the dynamic does unfold between these two teams in Earth 616. Now let's move on towards the other team, and that is going to be coming from Earth 828, the Fantastic Four. Obviously, we have Reed Richards, we have Sue Storm, we have Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, Ben Grimm, aka the Thing. That's going to be a team on its own. I know that it does seem like maybe the Fantastic Four are going to join the new Avengers because we did see them in that post-credit scene. However, I do think that they're going to have their own priorities. Clearly, you can see that Reed Richards really does care about his Earth. He was willing to move Earth to a different point in the universe in order for them to not be consumed by Galactus. I really do think they're going to be saying like, okay, like, yeah, you guys are great, but I want to take care of my own Earth. Once again, we'll see how that dynamic does unfold. It's going to be very interesting how Reed Richards and Sue Storm think about this whole scenario and whether they want to find an alternative similar to Sam Wilson. Now let's move on towards the next team, and that is the X-Men, coming from Earth 10005. Now, I don't think that this version of the X-Men that we will be seeing in Doomsday is going to contain the Wolverine. I believe that there is going to be only one Wolverine in this movie, and it is going to be coming from a different team. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But in this team, obviously, we can have Professor X, Magneto, Beast, Cyclops, Mystique, Nightcrawler, and Gambit. We're talking about the exact same team that is potentially going to have conversations with Monica Rambeau from the Marvels. Because remember, Monica Rambeau made that switch to a alternate universe and ended up in this universe where the X-Men does live. There is no Avengers, there is no Thanos type of character. It is a completely different timeline. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Like when we see the X-Men, they're going to be very comic accurate. We have seen multiple reports claiming that Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers, they have it right. They have their costumes at like 100% comic accurate. It's going to be amazing. And knowing that we're going to be seeing an X-Men that's comic accurate with their suits without a Wolverine, you can already see that this whole thing is going to be set up like the Wolverine that we know today that is comic accurate, that does hang out with Deadpool, and the one that we saw in Deadpool and Wolverine, he's going to end up meeting the X-Men, yet again, a different version of the X-Men, and he's going to notice that there is no Wolverine in their team. So you see how like it's kind of like a puzzle, like it's going to fit. It's going to be amazing. So potentially we can see a team up here, which is now going to lead us towards the other team, which is Team Loki. Team Loki is going to contain fascinating characters. Loki himself, Sylvie, Mobius, B-15, and possibly Deadpool and Wolverine. And I say that because Deadpool and Wolverine have a lot of experience with the TVA. They have been there. They know the people in there as well. And so these are two characters that really do understand timelines and branching realities. And I really just don't think that Deadpool and Wolverine are going to have any sort of favoritism going up against the Avengers if they do in Doomsday, because of what we saw in Deadpool 3, how the Wolverine was saying fuck the Avengers, or Deadpool saying that, you know, I don't even like them anymore because they rejected my application and I was trying to work for them. But I do see Team Loki being extremely well intentioned as well. And then lastly, we do have Team Doctor Doom. And this is where I think it gets very crazy, because honestly, I have no idea who's going to be in his team. I really don't. Like, I don't know if the rumors are true about him having the evil Avengers, like the OG Avengers, on his team, or could we see some members in the Illuminati join his team? Who knows? I have no idea. It does get very murky. I'm just going to assume and play it safe that he ends up recruiting different members through the movie. Like, he could recruit Magneto, he could recruit Namor, he could recruit a variant of Thanos, maybe Kang, and most importantly, an evil version of Doctor Strange, which is very similar to one of the pictures that we saw that got leaked a few months ago. Maybe even Franklin Richards is going to be in the team as well, because we did see him in the post-credit scene with Doctor Doom. So we'll see how a lot of this does unfold. For sure though, Doctor Doom is going to have a team, just like every villain does have in the MCU, or any real big villain in a Avengers movie. But let me know in the comment sections down below, who do you believe is going to be joining Team Doom? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.